Halloween Kills. That was a really brutal movie. It really was, in terms of just how gory and crazy they got in this movie. So this is a spoiler review for the brand new Halloween Kills movie. This is the second installment of the brand new Halloween movies that they're doing. And before I even start the whole review, I have only seen 3 of the Halloween movies. I have seen the original one, the original first movie, and then obviously the 2018 one I've seen before this one. And I haven't really seen all the other movies in the franchise. I kind of watched the first one originally, and then obviously I saw the 2018 one in theaters. It's kind of what I did, because I know that this one right here, these new movies are I know that these new movies are kind of like a reboot in a way, so they only follow from the story of like the first movie, so they continue on from there. So only those 3 movies really matter for these ones, and this one was crazy. Like, I know there's a lot of, it's kind of divisive. I've seen some divisive stances on this movie. Some people like it, don't like it. I'm sure some people are comparing it to some of the other Halloween movies that I probably haven't even seen. So I mean, I guess that would make sense. Comparing it, if it's like the worst one ever or one of the best ones ever, it is what it is. I pretty much enjoyed this movie. I actually really enjoyed it. I'm easily entertained. Honestly, when I watch a movie, I could be entertained quite easily. If I'm in the theater, I'm getting the theater experience. There's some good action, some good stuff like that. I was easily entertained during like the Star Wars sequels, and I think about them later and I didn't like them. This movie was really good for me. I really liked it. I liked what they did in the beginning and everything. So again, spoilers now for this movie. I'm just going to kind of go over some of the big points here. Halloween Kills, it starts out with them pretty much going back. So we flash back to 1978 with the original first movie, where he kind of escapes. He falls out of the house, I believe, and then he walks away, he gets away, and you follow these different cops, and they're trying to track down Michael Myers, and he's going about and still killing some people. And you kind of get like a little bit of kind of a backstory for Michael Myers in a way, because it kind of picks up right after that original movie. And you see some of the characters from the original movie again, and it's just very interesting how they're really tying together that first movie with these brand new ones. So it's kind of like these 3 movies now are just like one big story, instead of following anything else they did with all the other movies in the franchise. It sounds like the first movie is the only core movie they're sticking to here in terms of the story, which I guess for me, it's a good way to get into the story, because I didn't have to watch a bunch of other movies before these ones. But yeah, it went back in time. It did some flashback stuff. It was quite interesting how they tied it together. Not much happened in this movie in terms of where the story ended up. The movie ends up most of the movie takes place on the same exact Halloween night that we got in the first one in 2018, where it continues Michael's reign of terror after he escapes the burning house. Laurie Strode thought she killed Michael Myers, and obviously you're not going to kill Michael Myers, and he escapes. There's firefighters that respond to the fire of the house, obviously, and he kills them all, of course. I think that's in the trailer. So he kills them all, and Michael Myers is out. And essentially, the rest of the movie is just following survivors of Michael Myers, and they're telling stories of Michael Myers and the Boogeyman, and they follow the stories of them facing off against Michael Myers, because they learn that he is out and about again. You got Tommy in this movie, the kid that Laurie had ended up babysitting in the first movie. He's like a big prominent character in this one, and he kind of leads this whole rebellion type resistance thing against the local law enforcement, because they're doing such a bad job against like stopping Michael Myers. So they band up together and rile up a bunch of people in a hospital to end up going after Michael Myers, because they feel like they can go do it themselves. And then it leads to this whole storyline in the hospital where Laurie ends up being at, because she was wounded in the movie beforehand. And that's kind of where she spends most of the movie, by the way. She's not really in this movie much. She doesn't do a whole lot. But the hospital storyline in this movie is kind of weird to me. I didn't like it. It's one of the big things I didn't like about this movie, is this whole hospital storyline where you got Laurie Strode there. Obviously, she's hurt. I mean, I understand being there for that story, but then you had the whole story of people coming in because there's loved ones wounded and everything, and then you get all these random people that are banding up together to fight up against Michael Myers. And then you have another escaped mental health patient that actually ends up running into the building, and they think it's Michael Myers, and they start chasing after this guy that's not Michael Myers at all, and they chase him in his room, and then he's like so freaking out that he ends up killing himself. He jumps out the window. And I personally, I don't really see the purpose of that story. I guess I could see it a little bit where they're, people are going crazy because Michael Myers is out and they don't know how to stop him. But I didn't really understand that one. I didn't really like that storyline. It was a little weird for me. Maybe they'll touch up on it in the third movie here. But that one, that whole storyline with the random mental health patient, he might have been a character that I honestly should know, but maybe don't know. But it seemed like he was one of the only other ones to escape. And they showed early on in the movie, they showed this mental health patient along with Michael Myers on the news screen. And that's kind of what that character was. And he ends up just jumping off the building and dying. And that's kind of where it ends with that. But after that whole hospital debacle, it really picks up. Michael Myers going around killing random people, of course. He ends up going back home where there's like two guys that now live in his house. And obviously pretty much anybody's house that he ends up going into is killed. And obviously he goes into a few homes. He kills a couple earlier on in the movie. Pretty brutal. Like the brutality and the gore in this movie is pretty crazy. I watch shows like The Walking Dead. I don't know how everyone's opinion is on that show, but I have seen some pretty crazy stuff done on that show. That's what I can compare it to. And this movie is just, they find all these crazy, brutal, and just crazy ways to kill people, and it's insane what they're making Michael Myers do in this one. The brutality of this one for Michael Myers is a lot crazier than the 2018 one, at least I think it is. He just goes insane. The death of the one guy on the stairs near the end of the movie, that one was probably one of the big standout ones to me, and just how they ended up killing that guy. He was like the boyfriend of the daughter. I'm not remembering all the names right now, but his death was one that really stood out to me there near the end of the movie. It was really, really crazy. Like that, just how brutal they made Michael Myers. That's really the only word I can describe it as, is just how brutal he can be towards all these people. And just they open the movie, by the way, with this insane scene of him killing literally all the responding firefighters that end up showing up to the fire, and just all the different ways they make Michael Myers and all different people. And just I think that's probably the highlight to the movie, honestly. And that's probably what the highlight is kind of for all these movies. It's kind of the point of the movies, is just have Michael Myers run around and kill people. Like, that's what these movies are. It's a slasher film. So they're going to have Michael Myers obviously just kill a bunch of people in crazy different ways. So a quick breakdown before the whole ending bit of the movie is Michael Myers escapes the house. His mask is all burned now, and everybody wants to kill him. And Laurie Strode wants to kill him too, but she can't because she's in the hospital and she can't really go anywhere, so she doesn't do anything. And they can't find him. He goes around, kills people. They can't kill him. They just can't manage to do it. And then at the end of the movie, they finally surround Michael Myers in the street. This whole band of people that were trying to find Michael Myers and kill him, all this stuff they're trying to do, they finally do it. They beat him. It seems like they beat him down to death. They freaking stab him and shoot him and whatever else. And obviously, we already know that doesn't kill Michael Myers. Michael Myers will not die by literally getting stabbed through the chest or shot or anything. He just doesn't die. And what I really like is they don't really give a solid reason to why he lives. He just lives. Michael Myers just survives. And the only really reasoning they give is just he is just embodiment of evil, and he just continues to thrive and survive. And it's quite fascinating actually how they go about how he lives through all this stuff. It's insane. Like, nobody can kill this guy. Literally nobody can kill this guy. And you got this crazy amount of people trying to come after Michael Myers. It seems like they end up killing him. Once they beat him down into the ground, they have Laurie's daughter end up stabbing him like in the neck or the head or whatever they ended up doing there. And it seems like, wow, that's the final thing. They killed Michael Myers. He's dead. But I think everyone watching, first of all, there's already another movie coming. We all know that Halloween Ends is the next movie they're doing. But everyone knows they're not going to go in and see Michael Myers die. Like, it's not happening, especially when you know that third movie's coming. And it goes about that. And then they kind of cut to everyone, recovering from this next Michael Myers attack. And then they show him get up. He gets up on the street. Everyone's still surrounding him. Tommy was like the leader of this group, trying to kill Michael Myers, and he's like the last one that's killed. He kills all the people in the street there that were going after him. All these people are just killed. And then obviously Tommy, the guy running around with a bat pretty much, the one going crazy the most, he ends up getting killed. And Michael Myers is alive. He is out there again, and that Halloween night seems to end. And I'm thinking they'll finally go ahead and jump ahead, to maybe to another Halloween night in the third movie. But these first two movies here were on the same night. So 2018 and then the 2021 movie here are both on the same night. So it's one big story here, and it's pretty interesting. So you think the movie's over. Michael Myers escapes once again. He's alive. Killed a bunch of people. Like, so many people died in this movie. Pretty big kill count. The movie ends with Laurie's daughter, Karen, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but her and her daughter are sitting on like the step of the house, and they're just, recovering after this attack. And then Karen decides to walk into the house, Michael Myers' house, his former family home or whatever, where he killed his sister. She walks through the house and stands out the window as Michael Myers likes to do or something. I don't exactly know what she was doing. Maybe just kind of mentally recovering, thinking about the mentality of Michael Myers or something like that. I don't exactly know what she was trying to do there. Michael Myers is out. He's alive. He's still alive. But she doesn't know that. They think he's dead. But which surprises me because they've tried to kill him so many times and he still survives. But they think he's dead, and she's obviously the one who thinks she, finally stabbed him and killed him. He comes up behind her, and she's killed. He's got his knife. He stabs her so many times, and she's dead. And that's kind of how the movie ends. It ends with Karen, Laurie's daughter, dying. And we also see Laurie Strode in the end of the movie as well. But again, she was still at the hospital at the very end of the movie. She's kind of stuck at the hospital this whole movie while Michael Myers is out there killing everybody she knows and killing all these different people, and she's kind of just in the hospital. She doesn't do much. I don't necessarily know what the reasoning was for that, I guess, but I guess who we thought would be like the big main character against Michael Myers wasn't the main character against Michael Myers. I would more say it was Tommy or Karen and her daughter, and all the other people, all the other cast of the movie were against Michael Myers than Laurie Strode. It was more everybody else than her. I would assume she's going to be full on facing up against Michael Myers in the third one, Halloween Ends. This movie kind of just ended on one note. It was the one feeling of you can't kill Michael Myers. Okay, everybody in this movie tried so many times. It seemed like they ended up killing him. They stopped him. They surrounded him. And he gets up and just kills everybody. After they beat him down and seemingly kill him, he just gets up. He just gets up and kills everybody, and then goes and kills Karen. And that's how a movie ends. It's like Michael Myers just doesn't die, and that's kind of the whole gist of the movie. And it's pretty crazy. It's definitely pretty crazy. I kind of jumbled around a little bit in this review. I just kind of want to talk about some of the big points that really stood out to me. Essentially, Michael Myers survived the fire in the house. He ran around, killed a bunch of people. Laurie Strode didn't do much. Her daughter died in the end of the movie, and Michael Myers is still out there, and we'll see him face off against Laurie Strode, presumably in the next movie. So, really good movie. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it, so I guess that's a good thing. I guess in these types of movies that I have at least seen, you don't really got too much preachiness of anything like that. You got a Halloween Michael Myers slasher film. It's kind of what I expected when I walked into it. I expected this type of stuff, and I got what I expected, and I enjoyed it. I don't know which one I enjoy more between the new ones, the 2018 one or this one. I would say they definitely did a better job with the brutality and the way Michael Myers takes out people in this one. They did a better job on that, I would say, just because of how fascinating it was to see him, what he was doing. But either one is really good. I really like both of them. It's one big story now. You can watch them back to back, and it'll be one Halloween night. So I'm curious to see how far they'll jump in the third movie here. It seems like the third one will be like the last one of the new ones, at least for now. I know they've done a lot of Halloween movies, but that's my review for Halloween Kills. I thought it was good. It's what I was expecting when I went in, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I really am.